Y'all been pandering, but that's fine.
Who are we pandering to?
I think y'all know. If y'all don't
Where
know,
did I
then I
learn
don't
this
know.
tactic?
Why is my phone blowing up from different black women that I don't even know that's telling me that this is all a setup?
What?
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Who will emerge as champion? Let's get started! It's the battle of the century! This match decides the winner!
No limit.
I feel like the BBLs have started to look like diapers, where it's like the butt's like hanging off. I don't know. I think like it's not necessarily that they've gone out of style. It's just I think they've gone too far to the point where it's just looking like silly. Because I've even had girls come on my show, and I'm like, girl, what on earth did you do in Colombia or wherever you get those done?
I do agree that it has that it's gone out of style because everyone is getting them. When women, that was sacred to women of color, we naturally grow like that, and not every woman of color grow like that. So when a man would see that, it was praised because it was rare to see a woman who was perfectly shaped like a Coke bottle. That was a thing. But for the longest, we were shamed for our curves, our hips, our butts, our legs, everything was shamed. The white girl was the beauty standard. Her small frame, her I don't know. I don't want to say boyish body, but they want them to be really small, thigh gap, all of that. That was the trend. So our curves for the longest wasn't praised. We had Beyonce, we even had J-Lo, but she was a Hispanic girl. So it was mostly like, praised in that way. But once Kim Kardashian stepped out with Ray J, that's when it became popular. That's when it became popular. Kylie Jenner made the lips popular. Black women are, the standard of that they're replicating now. Now it's gone too far where you're seeing Black women who naturally had a nice body ruining their bodies now with these BBLs. Like I know people personally who had great bodies and they went and got it big because that's what's in, and they think that that's what men want. And I can't say that women who try to say I don't do it for men, I do it for myself. You're doing it for yourself to feel good from the validation that you get from men. So at the end of the day, you're still doing it for men. And then white women started getting it. And as much as logic, you may not see it on your timeline, but I see it. And I see white women where I'm like, okay, sis, we know that's not yours. But guess who's praising it? Black men. So if Black women are seeing Black men praising the preference, then that's competition. So guess what? Black women are going to feel like they need to enter that competition to get the Black man's attention because most Black women want Black man's attention back. So if that's the standard and that's what's being praised, then a lot of women are going to feel pressure to get that. And also, we're going to go from like a marketing standpoint. A lot of these women want to be influencers nowadays. So guess what? You can't get brands if your body looks sloppy or your body looks natural. Nowadays, people make fun of your body. Oh, I don't want to buy that. That's how it looks in that. But look at a girl who got a BBL and her body is banging, right? And she's wearing something. You're more inclined as a marketer to, as someone who wants to buy from that because you think that's what you're going to look like. But you don't look like that. But that's just strategic in marketing, right? So a lot of girls will get these brands like Fashion Nova. Fashion Nova pressure a lot of these influencers to get their bodies done because I don't want you wearing my clothes if you're not going to look good, if you're not going to look like these other girls that we have. Look at all the Fashion Nova girls. They all have the same type of body. So therefore, it is a trend to be an influencer nowadays. So guess what? You got to get with the program. So I do think that I'm glad that it's going out of style because I'm sick of looking at it.
Do you guys think that women get BBLs to get like attention from men? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, it's interesting that women will go get surgery before they take like a cooking class or try to do something outside of like sexuality,
Right.
Yeah, but you could cook and still have that BBL, and now they'll bring them up in the ranks.
Yeah, but what percent of like city girls like are really cooking? Like,
I don't know. I know a lot of girls that I know cook. Even the ones that get the BBL, they're cooking.
Okay, maybe.
No, they don't. They twerking. You know
They
this.
working in the kitchen and cooking.
I was say, why can't you do
Girl.
both?
So not,
I
not
mean,
even
Oh,
usually.
hell.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. Look,
I'm
man.
sorry.
Look,
I
look.
think I deal with more city girls than anyone on this panel with the amount of people I talk to in a week.
Why
But
do you
I'm telling
Are
think
you
you surround
ready?
yourself with those types of people?
Because I do a live show 4 times a week.
But why do you
Where-
bring on those type of people?
They make
What
good
is your
TV.
what is your
They make
so
good
you're doing it for
TV.
entertainment?
Yeah,
So that's your
it's
whole like,
it's an entertaining show. Yeah.
okay. So when you talk
Yeah.
about Black issues, it's more so for entertainment.
I don't talk about Black issues. I talk
But
about
most of
dating.
your panelists are Black.
Sometimes not.
Most
Depends
of
on
them
the
are,
show.
though, from what I've seen. I'm
It
just trying to
depends on
see.
the show. I don't do the recruiting actually.
But you allow it, you approve it, right?
No, I don't know who's coming.
You don't know who's coming to your own show. Okay.
Just because you date doesn't mean you have to sleep with people. You know what I mean? And men do it. Men will serial date as many women, and they make sure women prove who is the best before they choose you. And not to say, like, again, because I think sometimes when men hear that, they automatically think that means you got to put out. Go out on dates, get to know men, and decide if that's somebody you even see that you want to be around. Because a lot of the, never mind, I'm not even going to go there. But sometimes you can get caught up and you might put all your eggs in one basket, and then you find out a few weeks later that he's trash, that he's broke, that that's not his car,
What?
that, a bunch of different other stuff. So just, absolutely.
That's not his car. Has that happened to you?
Is that you being funny? Or was that a genuine
No, I
question?
was just asking. I've just never heard of that. No, I was just asking. I've never heard of he picks you up in a car.
Okay.
That's not
No,
nice.
I mean, you can answer the question. I wasn't answering you.
I wasn't trying to be rude. I was just asking. Oh my gosh. So wait, what was the question? No, I mean, I just feel like men look for loyalty. So if you're dating a bunch of guys at the same time, I think guys kind of want to be like they kind of like it when your attention is focused on them. So I don't know. I don't think it's that good to date multiple people at the same time. But if a guy's not giving you attention to the point that it's plan A attention, I think you should probably just find a different guy to date.
What are your thoughts? Women should date multiple men at a time to explore their options.
So I've been in both situations. When I started dating, I would date one at a time, and I realized that didn't work for me personally because I get attached and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So I would get very upset if the guy didn't take me serious, or I found out he was talking to somebody else and I wasn't. I would feel some type of way. So to protect myself, to tell other women that are like me, I say it's okay to date other men. Now you're going to have a roster. I think it's safe to have a roster. You always going to have your favorite, and that's the one that you give the most attention to and take serious, while the other ones, you kind of got them on standby, kind of texting them from time to time, especially when you're by yourself and he tripping a little bit or something. You texting your other roster of men, to kind of keep you distracted. And let the best man win, because when your favorite team player is not playing right, you kick him to the curb and upgrade somebody else.
Oh my fucking God, no way, that's it. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. It's not working. The power of Christ compels you! That was a waste of a drink.
In today's dating world in 2022, with these type of men, they may not be like you. They may not be like you. So therefore, these men in 2022, you need to expand your options, or you're going to be walking around heartbroken at the men.
It's
And
not
the
the men
battle
in 2022.
continues.
It's the men you
Fight!
pick. 1 out of 3 men are either virgins or
I
have
don't
had
pick
sex
them;
in the
they come
past
to me,
year.
and there's
It doesn't.
attraction.
You are
guys
what
always wanna hit
you.
people with that
Hey, let me
whole-
finish. Let me finish. You gotta let me
Well, you
finish.
jumped in between a conversation.
Come on, y'all ladies,
Okay,
one at a time. One at a time.
one
I told her
in
that
3
she
men.
could
go.
1 in 3 men.
Go ahead.
1 in 3 men. 1 in 3 men are either virgins or they haven't had sex in the past year. So there's a plethora of men that will be faithful to you and won't play these games. They're just not the men you want.
Women aren't going to be attracted to that in mass ever.
No, I understand that, but it's like you are what you attract. Like, so you can't you can't generalize all of
You're
men.
not are what you attract. You are what you put up with. Thank you. If you're
no,
beautiful, you attract all types of men.
How many people is enough for like a roster? Like how many? Like talking about like 2, talking about 3, 4.
It depends on the woman. Like
If
if
you
you have a
ask
guy
this
that's like on
question as a
standby,
woman,
kind of you never went on a date with him. He may just compliment you from time to time, or you may have given your number to him. Then you have your main guy that's you're actually really pursuing. Then you have a guy that probably took you out on a date, but you're not really talking to him every day. It's just kind of like, oh, hey, what's up? How are you? Like, it's nothing like where I'm going on dates every weekend with different dudes of the week. Like, that's not what a roster. That's why I'm not trying to compare myself to men, because I'm not going to move like a man.
But it's like you're taking attention from guys, so you're kind of using other guys for attention.
Men use
and
women all the
validation.
time. That's
Why is this a let's point the fingers?
No, it's a balance, right? It's a balance. It's not a point of finger. It's calling out facts, right?
And some men do. The majority of men don't get to use women. The majority of men don't get sex on a regular basis. It's not easy for them to get.
Okay.
And so
I
it's
don't know what
small
men you
percentage.
talk to, but I know
not,
men that's around me, they be getting the cheeks.
Well, because you only see a small percentage of men.
So
I mean, I think if you're dating someone, you should focus on them, and if it doesn't work out, then find someone else.
How does that work for you, Pearly? Are you actively dating?
I keep my dating life off of the internet, but
it works so well. We just want to know the results. You know, if you're going to be giving all this advice,
I don't actually really give advice. I was asked a question, but okay.
Ding, 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 ding. Next round.
There's multiple. There's actually no. That's not an extreme. There's multiple laws that are like that are similar. Like, for example, in some states, if you live with a guy for 30 days, he can't legally kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
That's
and
vice
so it's
versa.
Like, what?
It's vice versa.
What?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's one way.
It's one way.
The laws tend to favor women. So, like, for example, like alimony cases, what % do women win? They'll always use the example
and how many men actually have the money for women to get anything from alimony? Let's talk. Y'all be getting mad and scared because Dr. Dre, somebody who actually has money, is in a situation where his wife took not even 10% of his income, but y'all over here complaining, and most of y'all are making less than 6 figures a year, but y'all think y'all she gonna take off what money?
Here's the thing. It might not be money that they have now, but it's like if they spend the last 20, 30 years building with a girl, she can leave and take half. That's a lot of power to give a woman.
Well, you just said a keyword there. Build with. So if that woman stuck it out for that long and build with that man where he was able to go build that business because she was taking care of the house, she was taking care of the kids, she was taking care of a lot of responsibilities for that man to thrive as a man to who he is today, why is she not going to benefit? Because he wouldn't be who he is today without the help of his woman. You
could, because I don't think you're entitled to a man's earnings. It's just my opinion. Like, I think go get a job, hun. Because I mean, Jeff Bezos, you're telling me like when she left, let's use Jeff Bezos as an example. When she left, he made more money. She didn't. So like clearly, money wise, why is she entitled to his money?
Because she keeps giving it away. But let me ask you something, because would
Jeff Bezos have built Amazon without her? Probably. Would Jeff Bezos have built Amazon without her?
Don't you come from a big family?
Yes.
Okay, how many brothers and sisters do you have? You said 7.
You like to get personal.
No, I'm not getting personal. I didn't even ask the question yet. I'm asking because you put it out there, right? You put it out there on the internet, so that's why I'm asking. I'm clarifying.
I have 9 siblings. It
okay,
just seems to get
did your mother work? Did your mother work?
Yes.
She worked and took care of all 9 siblings. So who watched you guys while your mother worked?
Who watched us? Well, there was 10 of us, so it depends. Sometimes she did, and sometimes we had nannies.
Or the oldest brother. Or oldest sister.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had people like that. Your father had money to afford somebody to watch the kids, right?
At times, yes.
Okay, so in the average household, if mom is working and dad is working, who's watching
Mhm.
the children? Because it's not nannies for everybody.
Mhm. It's
Right.
it's well, she
Right,
you know
so
she was
I-
working. If you're gonna ask me questions, I'm gonna give you context. She was
Okay.
working for my dad.
So he gave her a job to
Yes.
work for, and so obviously he gave her a job where
Mhm.
she's able to work and be a mother, right?
hmm
Okay, and I think
For
that's
him.
lovely.
For him.
I think that's lovely. So let me
Mhm.
clarify something.
Mhm.
I wasn't asking that to
Mhm.
talk about your family life. I'm
Okay.
asking that because your father provided for the
Mhm.
family and
Mhm.
your mother so she can take care of the kids.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about.
Mhm. I understand, but I just don't think you're entitled to half of his shit.
But
I
I'm
just
saying
don't.
that
Go get a job. No.
if the
I
husband
don't
did
I
not
don't think you should
provide
be
her,
paid to I don't think you should be paid to leave a marriage. No.
so
I
if the
don't
husband
think.
did not provide his wife resources where she can take care of the kids
Mhm.
and she has to go out and work, or she's not working, she's taking
Mhm.
care of the kids, right?
Mhm.
Because he can't
Mhm.
afford a nanny. So she's sacrificing all of her time to
Why is it
manage
looking
the
as a
house.
sacrifice? She gets to stay home. That's a privilege.
And that's okay. So
Yes.
I'm not
I have
done.
a question.
And
I
she
have
and
a
she would
Okay,
question.
still
well,
and
wait, hold on.
she would still have wife skills. So like if you're gonna learn how to be if you're gonna stay home and take care of kids, you still have wife skills. So
What
you
I'm
could still get
saying is
married
you're
to
saying go
someone
out there.
else.
What I'm
Go ahead.
saying is you're saying
Mhm.
go out there and work, but there are women that I personally know who have
Uh-huh.
a woman, for example, have 7 kids with her
Mhm.
husband. He was the main provider, and she
Mhm.
stayed at home. She didn't go to school. She didn't get her education. She did and fulfilled her duty as a wife and mother, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
That man decided to leave the home
Mhm.
with another woman. That's
Mhm.
his choice.
But
Okay,
why?
cool. He's decided to do that. That left that woman with no resources, no
Mhm.
income, no education, no work experience for the past 20 years. And you have the nerve to sit up here and tell some women in those situations just get up and work. Who's going to
Mhm.
be watching those 7 kids because dad's not doing what he needs to do?
Mhm.
That's why the government stepped in and started holding men accountable because the children were suffering.
You're using an extreme
That's
example
not an
when women
extreme.
leave.
That's
When
why it
women leave,
actually started. That's why it
when
actually
women
started.
again you have to stop cutting me off.
No, you're cutting me off because I wasn't even done talking.
When women are the ones that leave. So women leave 70 to 80% of the time, 90% if they're college educated.
I love these
So
talking
why don't
points.
we talk about the women before we talk about the men?
I love these talking points, and you
Mm-hmm.
guys use this tactic. I'm a whole speech and debate professional.
Uh-huh.
So the fact that you're using this whole, can you not cut me off after you cut me off? You don't let me finish my
Mhm.
sentence. And I
Mhm.
actually let you talk when you kept cutting me off. And then the
Mhm.
moment that I'm trying to finish my sentence, you piggyback and say, can you not cut me off?
Mhm.
That's a tactic you're trying to use and it's not working.
Mhm.
But I'm going to let
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, I'm just tacticking.
Yeah.
Yep.
You said you was a debate major? Look, you can get your ass with all night.
I have not actually, but y'all been pandering, but that's fine.
Who are we pandering to?
I think y'all know. If y'all don't
Where
know,
did I
then I
learn
don't
this
know.
tactic?
Why is my phone blowing up from different black women that I don't even know that's telling me that this is all a setup?
What?
How can you be set up if you're a grown adult and you
I have
choose
a
to say
question. I have a
words?
question for Pearl. Pearl, you said that your mom, you had 9 kids, and so if your father were to just leave,
Uh-huh.
you know what type of position that would leave your mother in? Now she's
My
not
mom would
working
get a
for your
job.
father, making fun. Yeah, and do you know what type of weight would be on her shoulder? Like, you're laughing, but you would live a completely different lifestyle at that point because your mom is now busting her ass in a way she's never had to. She doesn't have that support, and she still has to do everything she had to do before, but
Yeah.
only by herself. You get
Yeah,
what
well,
I'm saying?
I think it's interesting because you don't know my family, and my mom's like one of the hardest workers that I've ever met. My mom would be fine; she would figure it out.
So she would be in the same position. She would be okay. It wouldn't hold no weight. Your family would be equivalent
She
to how it was
wouldn't be in the
before.
same position, but she's
Exactly.
not. Well,
That was the
one,
point.
my mom worked at my parents' company, so it's a little bit different if you're working. And they went from zero, and so it's a little bit different. And she was the president. My dad was the CEO. So it was kind of like they're dual. But I just put myself in like the guy's point of view. Like I built this channel and I'm like, if I was married now and I built this whole channel, like is he entitled to half? No. Is he entitled? Like that doesn't make sense.
Get a prenup.
No, but I'm saying like that's why I don't think the woman's entitled to it because I put myself in the guy's shoes. Like, why would he be entitled to that? I think that the laws are outdated. I think, again, we have a system where women are paid to leave marriages, and that's very outdated. So, honestly, if I was a guy, like, I would not really see the benefit in marriage because you get older women that are less pure than ever before. So you walk down the aisle, and then on top of that, she gets a contract that she's paid to leave. So I think this whole thing... as a woman, like I still want to get married, so it's kind of hard because like I do want to get married and I do think it's better for families, but just the way that the laws are set up now, I really think that needs to change. Because I guess a guy, like, what are you getting out of it? You used to be a virgin. Like now you don't even get it. You get them older than ever before, less pure than ever before, and she's paid to leave. Like if I was a dude, I wouldn't want to get married, but I do think it's better for the kids. So
Women are scared to actually even possess a political opinion nowadays. That's against the society norm.
I wouldn't say scared. I would just say like, in general, why would women want to? I hate to say it because like I wouldn't want to be a girl. Like as a girl, I still want to get married. You know what I mean? But if I had a son, like honestly, I'd just say live with her. Don't get married. And I think there's like one legal way around it. I would say like get married in the church or whatever religious ceremony, but legally, yeah, it doesn't. It's a contract she's paid to leave. I'd say to avoid some hoes too. I'd say like don't go there. I know they look good, son, but just chill out. Sorry, go ahead.
One thing. This is the first time that women has read off another woman off LaPeace Network. B Taylor is out of here. Where'd she go?
Huh?
Why are you running? Why are you running?